This is stage 8 of building the chamfered post table, and our table is missing a drawer, so that's the topic for this session. And the first thing I will do is create a drawer front using the rectangle tool. Grab point on these corners here and create that face, double click and make component, and that will be drawer front. Create. And I will copy that drawer front and bring it over down the red axis where we can begin to build this complex drawer assembly. The drawer front, I'll just go ahead and edit that component and give it the thickness, which is 7/7/8. Then there is a side component, and the side fits into the top 5/8 inch into the top. So I'm going to draw a guideline 5/8 back here, and that will be the front end of the drawer side. The overall length of the drawer side is 13.5. And since we've got a front, we know that the side is equal to that, so I can draw a side component here that's defined by these guidelines. Rectangle tool, corner there, and I've got a make component side, and no, I'll call that side 1. We can now delete these guidelines and edit the side component. Let's give this a thickness, the push-pull tool, and it's 9/16 thick. Alright, so our dovetails are up here. The first guideline is to come up 1/4 inch from the bottom, 1/4 inch from the top, and 1/8 of an inch and 1/8 of an inch. So that will create the location for the top and bottom dovetails, half dovetails, and we're in edit already, so I can draw a line between that connection and that connection. I could also draw an angle there of about 11 degrees, but it's just easier just to go ahead and draw a line between these two locations here. Oh, I forgot to draw this line here, and I need to draw this line here. Now I've got a dovetail. I can push that out to the back edge there and double click that one and push that out. To get the position of the other two dovetails, I can draw an edge from this center to this center and then divide that edge into just 3 segments like this. Now I've got that location to put a guideline down to that location and a guideline up to this location. That's the center of the other 2 dovetails, and I should go up an 1/8 and come down an 1/8 and then go up a 1/16 and down a 1/16, and that will give enough information to draw one of these middle dovetails, a full dovetail from there to there and from there to there, and that should be the full dovetail that I can now double click and push that out. I want to copy that whole dovetail down to this section, so I will draw a box. Let's just turn on X-ray a minute. Yes, I want a box to copy all that and then grab the center point and Control key and bring that copy down to this location, and that should be about it. But let me get rid of some of these guidelines here, and we need to just take a look at, close this component. Well, I've got that line in there that I can get rid of. Close the component and just bring a copy out to see what we've got here. I see. So we need to push out this pin here, pin location, socket location, push, pull, edit, push that out. So now we've got the dovetails nicely done for the front of the drawer. The back, let me close, just erase that for now. Now the back of the drawer, I want to draw that in. It's also 9/16 wide, thick I mean, but it's going to be inset a 1/16 of an inch from the back edge. So from here I want the 9/16 thickness, and that back then will go, there's the outer edge of the drawer assembly, so that back will be a piece that goes from this to this. That gives us a nice face there, and I can make component back and I don't want to move. I'm going to say back 1, create. Oh, I should have been saying drawer back and drawer side. That's what I should have done with the component names. So now I can push this back down to the bottom, but I know that it's not going to go all the way to the bottom, and I'll need to look at the drawing. I know it doesn't go all the way to the top. It needs to come down a little bit, and it needs to come up a little bit. It needs to come up from the bottom 9/16 of an inch, right there, and then the overall height of that back component is 2 3/4. So if I draw a guideline up here at 2 3/4, I got to drop this top down to that guideline. That's the overall size of the back component. How many of these guidelines can I get rid of? Not that one. I need to open the component, delete that one, and close. So ready to make the dovetails on the side back here, and we'll need guidelines again. We need guideline there at 9/16, and then we're going to go up 1/8 from there and 1/4 from there. That defines the dovetail right here. The upper dovetail, the middle of the upper dovetail is 3 inches to the midpoint right there. So I need a 1/8, 1/16, yeah, 1/16, and a 1/8, 1/16, and 1/8. So the dovetail for the side, I'm going to edit the component, will go from the 1/8 back to this, and here, and back to here. Now that also has to go all the way out to the edge, and notice that the magenta color gives me an alignment there, so I want to click there to extend that line out, and I need a similar extension right there. So that should define that dovetail. It is, and I can push that back, that socket back out there. This is a half socket down here. It's flat on the bottom, and I'm going to come up there and then extend down like we did before with the magenta color, and click there. I need this edge here, and I need this edge all the way over here, and we should be able to push that out to there. There's one more dovetail in the middle here, but I wonder if I can get rid of some of these guides. They're all, let me close the component and delete these guides, and then edit again. The center where I want that is 1 13/16. 1 13/16 up here. Now I could use that measurement, or the other thing I could do is just draw a line using that midpoint down on the blue axis, and then that midpoint there, and then the center of this line is basically where we want that dovetail. So those are two ways of, and I want to copy this socket right here down to the midpoint. So Control key, come down, click on the guide, and I've got a dovetail there. So those are actually these are the tails that I'm making in the side that have sockets for the pins that come in the front piece or the back piece. I need to get rid of this guideline, close the component, and let's do the pins on the front now. So I'll edit the front and then trace over these edges that are in the side. And need to push out that waste. So this waste goes back to there and back to there and back to there. So that completes the matching pins. Close that component. Open the back. Edit the back. Trace over these lines. Must be getting a weak battery in my mouse. Seems to be a little erratic. And this is the waste here. Double click that, double click that, double click that. Alright, so let's just have a look at what we've done here. Pull this away. Oops, I didn't want to copy that. I just want to pull this away for a minute. Have a look. Yeah, that looks very nice. And I can undo that and pull that back, and then edit the front, copy all of that information over to this end, flip on the red direction, and bring that right on in, flush, and kill these edges here. And close that. Edit the back component, copy that set of dovetails, bring it back here, flip along red, and close that in to there, and knock out the waste. Okay, it looks pretty good. And bring the side over here, flip along red, and just bring this corner right into this corner for an exact connection. So that's the main dovetails, and in the next session I'll do the bottom for the drawer.